Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to Star Trek Online. Now, I was thinking of doing the next story mission right off the bat, but let's see, as I would like to show you here, we have an event going. Something I've never seen before. Featured event, flagship celebration. Very interesting, and we have a reward thing for Dr. Beverly Crusher. And this is the Federation version, where last time, see if I can find it. Oh wait, can I not see it in here? Or did I not get it before? Okay, maybe I didn't get it last time. Or maybe it's a mission thing, not a reward thing. But there's a point where you can get the Terran Empire version of Dr. Crusher. So you can basically have two Dr. Crushers if you want. I don't know. Here, let me see if I can figure this out. It'd either be this one, or no, you get the medical coat with that one.
We're sending a fleet to the mirror.
Oh, Terran Empire. Okay, never mind then. I guess you don't get it. I swear I have her on another character, but oh well. Unless I have her like randomly in here. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So Terran Dr. Crusher. Yeah. It's funny. Let's go ahead and deal with this stuff. Sure. Still don't know why it says fleet credits. Wow, really? Really? What's the one to complete this? Okay. Oh no, I probably already completed. Oh yeah, okay, I see it now. There's like a little sliver of blue right there. That one's complete. Probably should have done this on my own time. This is probably really boring. Uh-oh. Your efforts in combating the Undine threat have been a tremendous help. Your persistence and bravery against such an intimidating foe is truly inspirational. As a small token of our appreciation, we would like to present you with a reward for your efforts. Counter Command Agent. Alright. Awesome. Transferring. Okay. Oh. Hello there. What do we have here? Where did I get these from? I don't remember.
Congratulations, Admiral. Congratulations, Admiral. Congratulations, Admiral.
Congratulations, Admiral. What's this? Voth exosuit. my traits look like? Anything disappeared on me? No, everything looks good. Area shield damage reduction and shield regeneration, refracting. Okay. Let's get this, and I guess I'll grab this as well. Also, hitting you apparently doesn't bring up the inventory anymore. That's a bit strange. Alright, let's take a look at this event, shall we? Oh. Oh, okay. Never mind then. Well, while we're here, I mean, let's look at Borg Disconnected. Maybe. I don't know how long it'll take. Oh yeah, they did a new thing here as well. Oh, hang on. Oh yeah, they made 3D ship models for the Zen store. It's pretty cool. You can take a better look at the ships they have on offer. Are we going? Hello? I just said we were ready. Okay, fine then. There was one thing I wanted to look for. Where is it? Oh yeah, here. They updated the appearance of the Odyssey class. The textures on it look way better than they did before. Oh, there we go. Read the mission now.
I am 7 of 9. In this instance, I speak for the Cooperative. Many Borg were disconnected from the Collective when the Borg Queen was defeated in the Hive. She survived and downloaded herself into this Unimatrix. Now she is
happening
compelling
over
any
there?
vessels with disconnected Borg to
That weird
return
vent.
for reassimilation. You must upload a virus to the disconnected Borg ships before they reach these towers. If the ships reach these emitter points, the Borg Queen will begin to reassimilate them. The Cooperative will not be able to assist in this endeavor. The longer they stay, the greater the risk of reassimilation.
Okay, I can turn that off now. Oh, what? Hi. What? Okay. Okay, that was a bit strange. Why did that appear? Oh, that went off twice apparently. Oh god. Rubber banding. Wait, wasn't I trying to restore that? Or is it because I'm in combat? I guess it's because I'm in combat. There we go. Oh, come on. I'm taking damage from the plasma torpedoes. So I can't. There we go. There they are. Don't worry, Spear, I got you. Now fire! I feel oddly like I'm not really contributing much. Oh, come on, you.
I'm picking up a massive disturbance in fluidic space. Species 8472 is approaching.
Oh no, not species 8472. Oh god, it's a cube. I just saw my health go down there. I don't know how much though. It doesn't look that bad.
The Undine will destroy the disconnected
okay.
Borg ships. Stop them.
Not in my Unimatrix. Wait. Oh, you closed the rift. Okay. Wait, did I close a rift? Hello, Automa? It's been a while since somebody said your name right. Yeah, I had to double check to make sure because I couldn't tell if that was supposed to be an M or an R and N just really close together. Can I not close that rift? It's not. You just got done with PvP? I've never really cared for PvP that much.
I'm detecting something on an intercept course. It is quite sizable.
Yeah, the only time I ever did the PvP, and this game specifically, It was for a friend, because they wanted to test out their build on their ship.
The Vault have a ship designed to fight Borg. Destroy it before it attacks the Cooperative.
If I recall this mission correctly, you have to ram these torpedoes in order to get rid of them. Oh god, that was weird. Yeah, it's immune. Oh, an accolade. Where's that torpedo going? Oh, no, go away, repair ship.
The collective will not fall here. I will not allow it.
You will be eliminated.
The weak shall perish.
3 dreadnoughts, but they're attacking one another. This is your chance.
All right. Let's launch this.
You have not heard the last from us.
Oh, the both are already dead. Damn, okay. They went down faster than I ever remembered them going down. Hey, I'll take the accolades though.
Thank you for your assistance. We will assist the disconnected Borg you rescued.
What do I need? Delta Alliance. Oh, alright. What's this? Destroy Voth ships. Defeat 10 commanders or captains on the ground. Well, let's finish up the Iconian War, shall we?
One way or another, the war ends today. The Iconians are massing for a final push towards the key worlds of the Alliance. We are gathering any remaining forces to mount a defense. And perhaps, if we are fortunate, we will be able to turn back time.
What am I up to in the game? I am actually making a YouTube series on it. It's I'm doing a playthrough for the Starfleet Discovery faction. I haven't been messing around with it for a while since I've been goofing around in World of Warcraft, trying to learn how to play that game.
The war continues, and all of our warriors are needed to fight.
You are cleared for docking.
The Crenum temporal phasing technology makes this one of the few safe rallying points for what remains of the Alliance fleet. Captain, I hope I'm not speaking out of line, but I'm looking forward to paying back the Iconians for all the ships and friends that are missing from this muster. I miss them too, but right now I need to check in with some of the other captains about our orders.
The High Command is still intact, and Kronos remains unconquered. Even so, this war cannot be won if we lose Earth. The Bortesque will fight until she can fight no more, as will I. If this is to be our end, then I will meet it with blade in hand and blood in my teeth. I can ask for no greater honor than to fight beside an ally who has shown this courage time and again.
Qapla', Captain Corin.
Glad you're here. We've been fighting non-stop and it feels like we're barely making a dent. Command says we're preparing for our last chance. I hope they have an ace up their sleeve, because I can't see a way to defeat the Iconians in a straight military battle. Whatever happens, just remember that you'll always have the Enterprise at your side.
Well, that's nice to know. Thank you, Captain.
All these years of pain and strife, and it comes to this? I cannot believe that this is how we will end. Our suffering, our struggles cannot be rendered so meaningless. You know what we have been through. This bitter taste, this grief that washes over me, cannot be the last thing that I feel. We will rise again from this. We must.
Drill on true, Commander. Yep. It's grim, sir. Most people are trying to stay hopeful, but we've all lost so much in this war. Pressure is just wearing everyone down. We should go to the briefing. We? Maybe Captain Cogran has some good news. Well, let's go.
We have defeated one Iconian, but the cost to do so was too high. The Iconian forces are too numerous for us to sustain such a strategy. We have been forced to our last resort. The Krinim time chip has been modified, and we can use it to generate a portal to send us back to the ancient time of Iconia. Once there, we must prevent any Iconians from escaping the destruction of their home world. If necessary, we must kill the remaining Iconians ourselves.
Our time travel experiments have all failed so far.
We presumably failed at temporal incursion, changing things in the past while remaining in a bubble of temporally shielded current time. This allows the timeline to unfold as it will, almost randomly. My team and I have been working on an alternative method that will actually send someone back in time to the past, where they can directly affect the timeline and help to guide it along the desired path. We've been running some basic scenarios that leave us quite hopeful that we can aid in the original attacks on ancient Iconia to ensure there are no survivors for us to deal with in the present.
I kind of want to know, why didn't we think of this before? Oh well. It seems like an exceedingly risky plan, and even if it works, we will be engaging in genocide.
We cannot sustain this war. The Iconians will destroy or conquer every species in the galaxy if we do not stop them now. There is no guarantee that this plan will work, but if we do not try, we will certainly lose everything. Our long-range sensors have detected signs of transit from the Iconian spheres. The Iconians must be preparing their heralds for another large-scale invasion. We are gathering our remaining forces to make our stand. The Iconians have picked our next battlefield, and it is the Sol system. If Earth falls, we have lost this war. We have one move left to us, and it is to move this war to a battlefield of our own design. We will attack the Iconians in the past. We've identified that the Iconians were forced from their homeworld in an attack 200,000 years ago. We will take part in that attack and ensure there are no survivors to fight us in the present. Noi's team is busy reconfiguring the time ship. There are no guarantees, even with time travel on our side. We must hold out long enough for a ship to pass through a temporal portal. That means fighting this fight and every other until this technology is complete.
Captain, this goes against everything we stand for. Everything we've been fighting for.
You talk of honor and duty and freedom. All of these will just be words if we fail.
Holding a rifle now.
We can try to live up to these ideals when we survive.
Okay. Oh, Joe's just appeared. The Iconians have begun their attack. Incoming hail from Captain Cogran. Put it on screen.
I've gotten word from Noi. They've completed their modifications, and the Krenim time ship is on its way. We must hold off the heralds long enough for the Krenim ship to arrive and generate a portal. Once the portal is opened, we will go back in time to ancient Iconia and try to change history. But first, we must survive long enough to do so.
Where can we shore up defenses?
Enterprise here. We've intercepted a group of heralds. Can you give us a hand with them?
Acknowledged, Enterprise. We're on our way.
This is the USS Hood. Our attack group is taking heavy losses.
Our RW eventually responded to your call for assistance.
Well, I tried to save them. Ow. Byrnjolf, no, I'm coming to save you.
Requesting immediate assistance.
A massive infrastructure? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm gonna have to grab the other one. There we go.
Shipyards are losing integrity. We need someone on damage control, or we may lose them before the ships in dock can mobilize.
Akagi here. We've restored main power. Thanks for keeping the gantries intact. Bringing the Fighting 99th Attack Wing into battle now.
This is ESD control. We're losing life support and transporters are offline.
You also have a huge hole in the side. Give me Genesis! Oh god, I'm probably fucking up everything on Earth by putting a giant planet right there. Well, hey, these ships don't need to go through the doors anymore to exit ESD. They can just fly right through there. Oh god, I do not want to be right here. Why would you stop me there? Captain, the Heralds are maneuvering to attack the Alliance fleet's exposed flank. We need to move quickly to intercept them before they can disrupt our battle lines. Alright, alright. I think somebody already took care of that. Something blew up over there.
told you I'd be back. And this time, I brought friends.
We've brought together forces from every quadrant of the galaxy. And Kronos done the impossible.
Ow! There's a destroyed Odyssey class right there.
I hope you're happy to see me. It doesn't look like things have been going too well so far. I left because I needed to find allies for this war. Ones who you couldn't or wouldn't talk to. The Dominion understands the Iconian threat, and they are quite eager to protect their stake in this galaxy.
Your timing is, as always, impeccable.
The Herald ships are regrouping. We should use this respite to our advantage. Form up at the KIS Anorax. We must protect it long enough for it to activate a time portal. Once the portal is stabilized, we can use it to go back to Iconia's past, and hopefully undo this war before it starts.
That's our only option?
Our situation is desperate. If we fail here, Earth will fall, and Kronos won't have much hope of standing without it.
This is our last chance, then. I'll see you in the past.
I am arriving with the time ship. We must protect it until the portal is stable. The Iconians off of us. Coordinates have been identified. Bridge across space-time. Just a little bit longer. And travel through it. That's it. The portal is active and stable. Enter it now.
No, I don't wanna. I wonder if they'll keep respawning after you defeat them all. Nope, everything's clear. Time to go.
Energizing temporal emitters. The time portal is open and stable.
Go! Get through that portal!
Setting a course now.
The Heralds are firing on the portal!
The
portal is destabilizing. Hurry!
More gateways! An Iconian flagship is moving in!
This is the moment of your extinction.
Not today. Everyone, form up and cover our 6.
Oh god, that
Theirs
looks so
not
weird.
to make reply. Theirs not to reason why. Theirs but to do and die. Into the Valley of Death rode the 600.
Evaluating astrometrics. Confirmed. We have traveled back approximately 200,000 years. Only our 2 ships made it through.
There are no signs of Captain Cogran or his ship. We will have to continue the mission without him.
Oh, I'm in the floor. Captain, we've done some preliminary scans of our temporal location. Noi has put us exactly where and when we need to be. On Iconia, about 2 hours ahead of the time we have for the attack on this world. Thanks, 609.
Perfect. This will give us a moment to get our bearings and figure out how best to prevent the Iconians from escaping their doom. There are only 12 Iconians that we've encountered, so trying to deal with just those 12 will be a much easier task than trying to take on this whole world.
Let's see what we can learn about these people in the time we have. Place is gorgeous. Sela's just admiring the vista here.
Greetings of the whole to you, strangers, and welcome to Iconia. My name is Matararen, and I am a herald of Matara. Before I can allow you to pass, I must scan you to ensure that your technology is of a sufficient level for you to be allowed access to our city. This will only take a moment.
By all means.
Your technology is sufficient, but your chronoton particles are substantially out of phase. Please follow me. You must speak to my mistress.
I see they're trying to let him blink. That looks really weird. And it's also just these 2 eyes right here, not the other ones. Well, lead the way.
Remember why we are here. Every Iconian must
why am
die in the
Hello?
bombardment, and their technology cannot be taken. If even one Iconian escapes, this could all be for nothing.
I should point out, what was happening there was I went to move, then Sela popped up trying to talk to me, and while my fingers were off with the controls, I was still moving for some reason. I didn't hit the R button, which allows me to run automatically. So that was just really weird. I know what our mission is, but I'm not sure if it's the right thing to do.
I recommend we begin by infiltrating their government building. We need access to their data and the gateway controls.
Agreed. We can't allow any of their technology to escape.
You've seen the ruins of a once mighty empire. This is Iconia at the height of its power.
This seems safe. Oh god. Why'd they build a city up here anyways?
I apologize for the interruption, Honored One. These travelers have just arrived at our city. Their chronoton particles are out of phase, and per your instructions, I have brought them to you.
Thank you, Mataran. You may return to your station. Greetings, friends, and welcome to Iconia. It is highly unusual to receive visitors with such unusual chronoton signatures, and yet we have had 2 in less than a cycle. Do you know a being named Cogrin?
Yes, we were separated from Congrin on our journey here.
Wonderful. He will be quite pleased to reunite with you. You should be able to find him in the residential district. I imagine you passed through the same chronoton-charged nebula he did. That would account for the anomalous readings.
Yes. We did pass through that nebula. Is there anything else we need to know?
Since you are explorers like Cogrin, I suggest you speak to Lemiran. She is the keeper of our world heart, a repository of all knowledge and a genetic record of the worlds we have visited. The astrometrics data in the world heart could prove quite useful to you. Do you have any questions?
What are the heralds?
Our world teems with life, but we were the first to become self-aware. Time is no enemy to us. An Iconian can live thousands of years, but our numbers have always been few, and as the years passed, we understood that would not change. Needing servants and companions, we found a local population that could be molded and shaped to suit our purposes.
Go on.
At first, we used them as beasts of burden, or for tasks that were too difficult or dangerous to do ourselves. I imagine your own species has similar creatures. Over the years, machines and technology began to replace many of those functions. And as technology advanced, what we needed from the heralds changed as well. Ultimately, we needed beings who could think for themselves. Our genetic reshapers transformed the heralds from beasts to companions. Now we have achieved a kind of symbiosis. The heralds perform the routine tasks that keep our society moving. We provide leadership, technological advancement, and defense.
So, slavery, I'm guessing? Sounds a lot like slavery to me. So what is your relationship with the heralds?
We are patrons, parents, and perhaps even gods to the heralds. In turn, they are our hands, our eyes, and our pets.
Oh, God.
Each herald is created to fulfill a specific function for his master. For example, it is my duty to interact with visitors to our world, but I cannot always be there to greet them. Mataran stands in my stead, examining those who seek our gifts and bringing any special guests, like yourself, to me.
Okay, how are the heralds made?
We begin with a particular genetic line. Sometimes we will use archived genetic material from the world heart, but most often we simply take what we need from heralds who already perform a similar service. We then resequence the genetic material in utero, removing any defects and enhancing natural abilities the herald will need. We also modify their behavior to ensure loyalty and remove unwanted aggression. Once they are born, we begin an intensive training process. Heralds mature very quickly, so by the time their training is complete, they are fully grown and ready to serve.
Honestly, that kind of sounds a little bit like the clones from Star Wars. But, oh dear. Modify their behavior to ensure loyalty. Oh, God. That just seems so wrong. That's all for now.
Greetings, travelers. Are you explorers, or do you come seeking our wisdom and guidance? Either way, I apologize. I am rather occupied at the moment. Please, return later. I should have time to speak to you then.
Also, I almost forgot, but yeah, there was a whole nother question to ask Matara, but they completely removed it. Also, yeah, I know you're quite busy, but what can you tell me about the World Heart?
The World Heart is the repository of all our knowledge. It contains the genetic information of every species on Iconia and all of our colony worlds. With it, we can colonize and repopulate an entire world, shaping it to resemble our home in just a few short years. It also holds a record of our culture, history, literature, and philosophy. This is why we call it the World Heart. It is, in a very real way, the center of our civilization.
Thank you.
The changes we see in the Iconians are too great to be simple evolution. The Iconians shape themselves and the Heralds into weapons. Genetic engineering that is both efficient and terrible.
You made it. Something must have gone wrong as we entered the portal that disrupted synchronization. I arrived 2 weeks ago. I remained cloaked, scanned the planet for several days, and then came to the surface as an explorer, seeking to open diplomatic relations with the Iconians. My ship is using the magnetic fields above the poles to help conceal its presence.
What have you found?
The Iconians of this time are nothing like the ones we know. They are flesh, and appear to be friendly and peaceful, if a bit arrogant with those they see as lesser. Come. They will allow us to move through the city freely. You should see this for yourself.
We have a lot to see, Cogran.
Cogran is either a fool, or he's being manipulated by the Iconians. Either way, he might jeopardize the mission. We'll need to watch him closely.
Well, you're both a problem. I make my own choices. Yeah, there's a point.
Someone's calling for help.
An injured herald. This could be a chance to learn about their physiology. Perhaps even find a weakness.
Hello. Can you help us? My herald is injured, and I cannot leave him. I need someone to bring us some healing supplies.
Tell me about the heralds.
Heralds are also native to this planet. They were not as evolved as we are, so we enhanced them. The heralds are our companions and our helpers. They are our hands and our eyes, and they are our children. It is rare for my species to reproduce. In fact, it has been more than a century since a new Iconian was born on this world. Perhaps we are evolving beyond the need for such things. We will endure here, and our heralds will spread our word throughout the stars.
I understand, I'll help.
Thank you. There should be a healer nearby.
I will find them.
Do you require assistance, visitor?
Are you a healer? We are in need of medical assistance.
Certainly. However, I do not detect any injuries or maladies in your physical form. What do you require?
I have a headache. It's not for me. One of Alar's heralds is injured.
Oh, of course. It is our duty and privilege to care for our heralds. I will follow you to the patient.
Thank you.
We'll see who the lesser race is.
I have spent days among these people. They are very proud and very strong.
Okay, am I supposed to follow them? Oh yeah, okay.
Thank you, Traveler. I appreciate your assistance.
What do you think of the Iconians?
How do you feel about your creator? The Iconians are parent, teacher, master, friend. They are our rulers and our gods, and I am grateful for their guidance. They give purpose and structure to our lives. We would not exist without them.
And yet if something happens to them, what will happen to you? Do you just lay down and die, or are you going to end up finding your own way? How did they treat you?
Exceedingly well. We do what manual labor needs to be done, as well as other tasks. And in return, the Iconians give me all I could need or want. I know it might sound like enforced servitude to you, but I don't see it that way. The Iconians are our beginning and our end. I am nothing without my mistress, and serving her is my greatest joy.
You're not nothing without her. You are you. Yeah, that makes sense. That's all for now.
The Iconians' affection for their pets is a weakness. We can exploit that.
I am not so sure. After all, we've seen how the Iconians will transform their pets. The Heralds are merciless killing machines. They have killed multitudes during this war.
Deaths that we will avenge here. No more waiting. We need to finish our mission.
Indeed.
I don't understand why you're bothering to help these people. We need to find the gateway controls, sabotage them, and be done with it. This could all be over if you'd let it.
It's my job to help people in need. The circumstances are irrelevant.
Clearly, the Iconians have a highly developed sense of the aesthetic.
That's fine, but what we
Oh, damn it.
need is to know more about their technology. And we're going to a park.
When you have technology as advanced as the Iconians, wonders can be found anywhere you look. We should talk to that officer over there.
Just let me jump off. Wait, you jump back on just to say hi and then leave? Okay. It's actually kind of alright, I think. Yeah, the lighting looks pretty nice. I like the shadows.
I see you are interested in this device. We are testing a new method of encryption. So far, it has proven to be most effective. To access the console, you must solve a series of problems that we believe only an Iconian could answer. Unfortunately, I fear the console is stuck in a testing phase, which is why I am protecting it. It may be a waste of time. You appear intelligent enough, but I doubt you or any of our other visitors could solve even the easiest of problems in the algorithm.
Well, then let me watch the console for you. Lemirin says she needs to see you right away.
I am not supposed to leave this area unwatched, but all of my heralds are performing other duties. And if Elmiran sent you, very well. Thank you, Traveler. I will not be long.
Shouldn't keep her waiting, Bertrand. Please enter your selection. Decode encryption algorithm 01. Too low, you say? Well then, let's go up. Too high! Too low! Oh, given a population of deployed organisms that mate randomly, with 9% of the population homozygous, oh god, recessive for a particular trait, calculate the percent that are Oh, I went way too high. There we go. So the Ecobar, the Ecobar have made no secret that they covet our gateway technology. Unfortunately, they are a warlike species. Soon after they developed rudimentary warp drive technology, they used it to attack and enslave several inhabited worlds. The Ecobar have also made several attempts to covertly access our consoles and steal our technology. Although officially we are not at war, we should be extremely cautious with the Ecobar. Access to gateways is strictly off limits for the Ecobar, and a herald will be assigned to monitor all movements of Ecobar representatives in areas near gateway access points. Oh, wait. I read that as if it was a new sentence. Oh well. The Denasians have made repeated requests for medical technology. Our analysis of their biomedical ethics, however, indicate that at their primitive level of development, they have an 84.6% chance of doing themselves harm with genetic engineering, and a 74.2% chance of using it for biological warfare. Although thus far their dealings with us have been honorable, a plague on their world has increased their demands for our gene manipulators. Our recommendation is to continue to supply the Denasians with medical supplies and antigens, but to withhold other medical technology.
It is just as I surmised. The Iconians are following their own version of the Prime Directive. They are attempting to protect lesser developed species from acquiring technology that they may not use wisely or well.
I just want to point out, this is a console in the middle of a park. Why? Why keep that information here? Well, the evidence does point in that direction.
Not so fast. We've only heard one side of the story. I'd like to know what some of the other visitors here think about the oh-so-noble Iconians.
Agreed. Let's find out.
We will gladly give you the medicines you require, but our genetic engineering technology is off limits.
The medicine will help with this plague, but what about the next one? We need the ability to take care of ourselves, but you won't give us the means to do so.
I am sorry, but we have extremely stringent rules about who can use our technology. There are many species who are not yet ready to use our gifts safely and wisely. One moment, Volkar. Yes? May I help you?
Our people have a similar policy regarding technology to protect developing societies. I think you're right to restrict access.
Yes, I will take your opinion under advisement, but ultimately, this is an Iconian matter. You are simply another visitor on our world.
Damn, okay. I'll leave you to it then.
We haven't made much headway trying to reverse engineer the gateways, but just imagine what we could do with it.
Continue listening. I just... Okay.
Oh, I have. You can move an army in the blink of an eye. Think about what would happen if all these heralds just showed up on your planet. Oh, they'd take over in a day. I'm still trying to acquire some of their data. Have you had any luck yet?
Nothing yet. Despite all their openness and hospitality, the Iconians have everything on lockdown. Can't even get near the building where they keep the world heart without some herald stopping me.
Walk away.
If I were the Iconians, I too would think twice about giving people like these advanced technology.
Agreed.
This doesn't prove anything. So the Iconians had their reasons for withholding technology. I don't care, and neither do their enemies. We know the bombardment is imminent. This world will be obliterated, no matter how much you sympathize with the Iconians.
She says out loud for everyone to hear.
What we're here to do. There can be no survivors.
You don't see any echoes of yourself in these people? Sir, we are detecting an armada of ships on long-range sensors. Multiple configurations. Avoid detection at all costs.
Tell your ships to drop into orbit above the polar region. My ship is cloaked there.
Alexandra, take up polar orbit above the planet.
Excuse me, but I require assistance. We have lost contact with several of our colony worlds. I am attempting to increase the range of this communications console to re-establish the connection. But I need another set of hands to adjust the frequency while I attempt to dial in the proper network levels. All of my heralds are currently working on the evacuation. Would you be willing to help me?
I'll do what I can to assist you. Oh wait, go down.
Curious. Our communications should be reaching the colonies, but I am not receiving any response to my messages. Something terrible must have happened. We were not concerned about the lesser races. Not at first. They were like children who wanted things they could not understand. It was our duty to protect them, to guide them. In time, when they were ready, we would have shared all of our gifts.
What will you do now?
I do not know. If the colony worlds have fallen, then I am sorry. Please excuse me. I must speak to our leaders.
Best of luck to you.
We already know the evacuation did not save them.
But the gateway on New Romulus remained active for a time.
Then we must cut off that path, now, before anyone escapes.
Oh, music changed.
Welcome, traveler. I apologize for my earlier absence. Do you have questions about our world?
Who is attacking you?
We have had contact with many worlds in our journeys, but we have found no people equal to our own. Some of the others resent the blessings our people enjoy. They seek to take that which we will not give.
Why did you deny them access?
Our policy is not to share our technology with species who are not sufficiently advanced to use our gifts wisely. When a society encounters advanced technology, before they are ready, they often don't have the cultural or social development to handle it appropriately. This leads to war, genocide, and many other ills. We would protect the younger species from those tragedies. Our people believe, also, that each species has a unique destiny. To disrupt their path toward that destiny is wrong. All of the others must develop in their own time.
You mean like the heralds? Did you give the heralds that option?
We have had contact with many worlds in our journeys, but we have found
okay, that's
no
a different answer
equal.
to,
While we are
well,
an
different question to the
extremely
same answer.
advanced world, we are not, in general, a militant one. Tiquette will coordinate the defense, but I remain hopeful that we can reach a peaceful solution before blood is shed. Matara speaks for us, and she is quite a gifted diplomat. If all else fails, there are places known only to us and those who serve us. Our gateways can take us to these refuges, to recover and rebuild. Will you help us?
Alright, that's all for now.
The attack is beginning. I thought we'd have more time. We must retrieve the World Heart and escape. Will you help us?
The attack is beginning. We must decide how to proceed. I have spoken to these people, walked their streets, shared their meals. Regardless of what we know they will do in the future, the Iconians of this time are not evil. They are peaceful. And they are guilty of no crimes, worse than standing up for their ideals. The very same ideals, I might point out, as the Federation's prime directive.
So you're saying we should help them, even knowing what they will do.
You have walked the same streets as I, spoken to the same people. Can you allow them to die for crimes they have not yet committed? For my part, I find no honor in cold-blooded murder.
I see your point.
What do you think, Sela?
It doesn't matter what these people are now. We know what they will become, what they will do. The Iconians will destroy my homeworld. They will bomb the Archive in the Lena system and exterminate the Preservers. They will incite the Undine to destroy Keswick 4. They will attack our homeworlds, kill those we love, and threaten our very existence.
That's in the future. We're here now.
And that changes nothing. We know what will happen. In our time, they are poised to destroy or enslave the galaxy. There is no choice. We destroy them now and save ourselves.
Is it even possible to kill them? Won't that create some kind of paradox? Do we have the right to execute them for crimes they haven't yet committed?
It's a bit late for second thoughts. Our mission is clear. We don't have a choice. We're here, and we will do what needs to be done. Atone for your sins after you've saved the galaxy.
You know, something I just thought of. How'd you figure out what our mission was? We didn't really have much time to explain it, yeah? Well, sometimes being ruthless isn't right.
The World Heart contains all of our knowledge.
Oh no, the ball.
Genetic data.
Nope.
With it, we can rebuild. We have a refuge built for those who serve us. We shall go there.
We should be able to access the gateway network from here. We could disable all of the gateways at once.
We offered Lemirin our aid. There is no honor in striking down an ally from the Hive.
The honorable thing would be to complete our mission and save our galaxy. Or do you not care about what happens to Kronos?
Good thing she doesn't hear any of this.
We need to transfer the World Heart to a transportable format. I'll need your help to initiate the download from that console. The download is proceeding, but it will not complete before the invaders find us.
Oh, I forgot I had a... God damn it. Stop it! There we go. Okay, I guess I could have done that, but it looks like they... I think they might have done it well done. I think they might have stunned me like 3 times there in a row. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what it felt like.
I need to release the magnetic internets holding the core. I need you at the other console. More invaders. They must not take the World Heart.
Oh, it's over here. Wrong button again.
We need to erase the mainframe memory banks. I will require your assistance. More aliens are coming. Protect me.
Ow.
Mainframe memory erased. The last step is to eject the World Heart. I fear that was just the beginning of the violence. My people are few, and most of our heralds are elsewhere. Defeating a significant force would be costly to both sides. I know you are not one of the whole, and I have no right to ask for your assistance. But would you help us evacuate the city?
Sure, of course.
Blessings of the whole upon you. We must gather as many of our people as possible and escort them to the gateway platform. Once we are there, I will open the path to our refuge. Many of our people already left for Colony Worlds, but we have lost contact with them. I fear the worst.
Why does Sela have a Federation phaser? What should we do first?
I recommend we locate Tiket. She is our protector, and there are none who know the ways of our enemy as well as she.
Alright, follow me.
Tiket is a fearsome warrior, and has kept our people safe for countless millennia, until today.
Rescuing Iconians is not what we're here to do.
Perhaps it is. When we came back in time, we did not know what we would find.
I appreciate your efforts, stranger, but I cannot come with you. I will defend Iconia until my final breath.
If you die here, who will claim vengeance for the fallen?
Your words have merit. If we go to the refuge, we can rebuild. There, we can plan our vengeance. No one will ever threaten us again.
Like, well, who's gonna do vengeance? Don't focus on your revenge. Okay.
She is a fool. She would let her people die so she could avenge them.
Vengeance is a powerful.
We will never forget this tragic day.
Kinda wish we could see, like, warships up in the sky, but no, we can't. Wrong button again. Hey. Okay. What am I doing over here? Oh.
Thank you. You have shown exceptional kindness and valor in this trying time. I will miss my home. Iconia is precious to us, but as long as the whole survives, we can use the world heart to rebuild.
Go to the gateway platform. We'll meet you there. Wrong button again. God damn it.
These are not a warlike.
Wait.
Not yet. That will change.
I thought they were about to walk off the edge.
Affects everyone differently. My
Can I jump off now?
became warriors when an alien species threatened our home.
And the Iconians will become conquerors. Now I see your plan. We've won their confidence, gathered them together. Strike now, and we can eliminate them all.
I will not kill defenseless innocents. Well, at least the bridge is still holding after that explosion.
The gateway is damaged. You will need to reroute the power and reinitialize the gateway open sequence.
Somebody help Marta.
Didn't the others save the Iconians?
Wait, where's Marta?
Where are they?
They may already be here.
Wait, no, seriously, where's Marta at? Marta? Wait, what? Wait. What are you doing all the way down here? How did I miss your death so completely? Well, not death. You just got knocked out. Oh no, the trees are on fire. Okay. Oh, is that an enemy plasma? What are you shooting at?
We're losing ground.
Are we?
We can't hold them off for...
That's it. Send them through.
Oh god, the bottom part's having a tism.
No! This isn't our mission!
Get him, Cogran! Nope.
You took everything from me!
Like there's just an Iconian standing there.
World Heart!
There's no time. The gateway is closing.
Only 12 of us are left. That crystal contains our civilization.
Sheila, stop! We are better than this!
I will remember this, Romulan. I will extinguish your people in payment for your treachery.
How'd you know she was a Romulan?
This has all played out this way before. I am the cause for Hobus.
Oh, so hold on a minute. How? Romulus doesn't exist yet. The Romulan people haven't been made yet, because at this point in time they would either still be Vulcans or they haven't evolved enough. Eesh. Wasn't it like 50,000 years ago or something when they split between the Vulcans happen? I can't remember. What are we doing? Oh. Okay, that's a choice. Oh, she's still moving. Oh no.
I know what you are going to say, but I did what I had to do for my people. I should have acted sooner. If I had, perhaps Romulus would have been restored.
Can't you see that your act caused the destruction of Romulus? We sent 12 Iconians to Daywall 3. We are the others.
That can't... Taket! What have I done?
Did you have a choice? Predestination paradox theory would say this event had to happen, and it is the reason you're here.
The Iconians have fled to Daywall 3, and the Gateway's console has been destroyed, so no one can follow them. Our fate may not have changed from our actions here, but we have done what honor demanded. We are not murderers. Whatever our future may hold, we will face it with our eyes open and our heads held high.
Well, we
must
can,
return
Tila,
to our
however.
own time and see what effect our actions had.
This isn't going to be easy to explain, but we need to return.
We're initiating a tachyon burst to reopen the portal that brought us here. That should bring us back to the exact moment we left the present time.
Where's the war fleet?
The heralds are firing on the portal!
The portal is destabilizing. Hurry!
Captain Cagran to Alliance Fleet. Stand down. I repeat, stand down.
Why does he have a Romulan bridge?
You have the World Heart and the means to end this. Signal the Iconians. Show them we have it, and that we are the ones who saved them. This is our last chance to end this war.
Do you wish to surrender? A wise decision.
No, Lemirin. We have just returned from the past. Your past. And we have the World Heart to prove it.
How did you acquire that?
We saved it. We were there when Iconia was lost.
That is not possible. But yet, I see the World Heart in your hands. It is time to end this. Your leaders, our unity. Now.
Wait.
If what you say is true, then that core contains all of the lost knowledge of our people. So much that we thought it was lost forever. Will you return all that remains of our civilization to us?
This conflict must end, and this wound must be healed.
I have never had a chance to examine you closely, but now that you stand before me, I remember you helped us, although it gained you nothing. You are the other.
And this war should have never happened.
Hate blinded us. Fear of the unknown crippled us. Pain called out for blood in ever greater measures. The events of that day set us on this path. It grieves me to see where it has led. After we escaped to Daywalk 3, protecting ourselves became our sole purpose. We transformed ourselves, our whole, even our heralds, to prevent another tragedy. And we vowed never to trust again.
You trusted me once.
I did, and it saved us. But we believed the other lost to us. And you were lost to time. And we preserved the whole by any means necessary.
You say you wanted to protect yourselves. In doing so, you destroyed countless lives.
Indeed, we protected the whole against the lesser species who would destroy us if given a chance, who would steal what we would not give freely. And we did not mourn the deaths of those who were not a part of our unity. And then we faced you, a foe who would not yield, who subverted time itself in an attempt to destroy us. But instead, you showed compassion, even though you knew what would happen to your people if we survived. You helped us, because that is who you are.
Starfleet's mission is to explore, not destroy. Like you, we were defending ourselves.
I am humbled in the face of such integrity. I shall be forever grateful to you for showing us the error of our ways.
Enough blood has been spilled. Let us end this war.
Whatever these creatures did in the past is meaningless. They killed our sister. They broke our unity. And for that, I will destroy them.
Have you forgotten what we did for your people? For you?
I will never forget what you have done, or what that creature, the receiver, did. There will never be enough blood to wash away my need for vengeance.
Sela was grieving the loss of her homeworld. A homeworld you destroyed. You have already exacted revenge.
A single world. I can destroy 1,000,000 worlds, and it would not be enough. Your existence is an insult to the memory of our people. I will continue my fight, even if I must fight alone.
Tiket, please listen.
She will not listen. Tiket has always been very stubborn. In a few thousand years, perhaps, her attitudes will change. Until then, be wary. Tiket is a formidable opponent, and I will not take up arms against her, even in defense of the other. But with those of us who remain, you shall have peace. We ask only for our homeworld. Leave Iconia and our servants undisturbed, and we will trouble you no longer.
That sounds fair. But we will have to ratify this treaty with the Alliance.
I understand, But our terms are not negotiable. We need time to breathe and contemplate. Perhaps in a millennia or two, it will be different.
Very well. Farewell. Thank you for striking this accord. And they just plot me on Earth. Not back on my ship. They put me at Starfleet Academy. Also, the celebration started real quick. What is that supposed to be over there?
Your compassion has accomplished more in one act than we could have with all the phasers in the fleet. Honor and selflessness have been almost forgotten over the past few years. That needs to change. It's time to act like Starfleet officers again.
Now we need to rebuild.
We have a lot to do to heal the wounds the war has left on us all. But we've survived the Borg and the Dominion. We can survive this.
I agree, Captain.
There's a lot of work to be done now. We need to rebuild, recover, try to learn how to live in this new reality. But with people like you on our side, I know we can do it.
We'll succeed if we all work together.
I thought this was it. The last day. And I was ready, but I'm glad my daughter didn't have to die in defense of the Federation. That I get to go home after this. We all do. Thank you.
Question, what is B'Elanna doing? His wife? I don't think you ever figured that out. You're welcome, Captain.
We have much to do, but first, we will celebrate. Let the blood wine flow now that the bloodletting has ceased. There is more to being a warrior than vengeance and death. True honor comes from doing what is right, despite the personal cost. The Iconians will depart, and we will rebuild. Mercy has triumphed where weapons could not. Now I will try to find a way to share this wisdom with my people. Many warriors have fallen in this war. Those of us who remain must walk the path of honor.
It was her courage that showed me the way, Cogran.
I don't know what to say. I thought I was protecting our future. But instead, all this... It happened because of a mistake I made hundreds of thousands of years ago. I've made a lot of difficult choices in my life. And I didn't always consider the consequences of my actions. Today has made me wonder if there's another way. If I can be better than I am.
Well, it's never too late. Now I need to get back to my ship.
The war is over. Although we could not turn back the clock and restore the lives that were lost and the planets that were ravaged, we have ended the conflict honorably. You made the right choice. And that is not always an easy one to make. I would be honored to fight by your side again. Before that day comes, however, we must rebuild. There is already talk of new exploration missions. Perhaps we will find our next challenge among the unexplored stars.
Yay! Automatic hull heal and hull below. Yeah, that sounds nice. Oh god, my poor inventory. Well, I think that's going to be it for now. Thank you all for watching. And I will see you next time. We're finally done with the Iconian War. Woo! Goodbye now.